Hi everyone and welcome to another video. I just want to say a quick thanks to all of you who have subscribed to my channel, and also some of the recent comments I've had from Corey Miller and also Hannah Ulrich. I really appreciate your feedback. I'm really glad that the videos are helping. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe to my channel to hear the latest videos. So this current video is about the 10 best vegan trainers for men and women. Trainers can be quite hard to find as a vegan. A lot of brands don't really tell you the source of the glue that they use, and also some of them can contain some leather or wool in the linings as well. All of these trainers that I've highlighted have used vegan glue, and also I've really paid attention to pick out some of the best ethical companies in the world. So these ethical companies source sustainable materials, they're all vegan, and they also fund projects that help protect the planet and also protect the people who make the shoes as well. So the first brand that we're looking at is Free Waters. They're a US brand, and they only have a small range of trainers, but they're very functional, they look quite stylish, and each purchase goes to fund clean drinking water products around the world. And to date they have funded 80 projects in Haiti, Kenya and the Philippines, which is really great. So every purchase goes to funding a really special project that makes a big difference. Now, one of the brands that you've probably heard of the most in terms of vegan ethical shoes is Athletic. They're a German brand, but they sell their shoes worldwide. They were the first to be awarded the Fair Trade Quality label, and they invest really heavily in improving the lives and welfare of people working in its supply chain, which is really great. So you know that with each purchase you get a quality shoe, and you're helping to support the people and the environments that make it. So if I take a quick look at the website, what I do quite like about this brand is that they have quite a range of shoes. So unlike some of the others on the list, where you're limited to one or two, maybe three styles, Athletic really has quite a lot of styles to choose from. So as we can see, they're fair, vegan and sustainable. If I go into sneakers, tell me that, yeah. You can see that loads of different styles, from, they call it the Hyro, the Root, the Randall, the Godo Low, Godo High, so loads of different varieties that you can choose from, which are great for men and women and also kids as well. So if I go into the Godo Low, you can see, you know, they use fair trade cotton, they're PETA approved, and also 100% sourced from sustainable forests, or any other material used. So these are just some of the varieties. Like I said, they've got loads more on the website, so it could be worth checking that out. If I go back to the list, the next one on the list is Flamingo's Life. Now, some of you probably haven't heard of that. I only came across that brand quite recently. It's a Spanish company, but they sell across Europe and the US, and they're branded as an animal-free corporation, so its entire range is vegan. And what I did quite like about this brand is their focus on helping the environment. So with every purchase made, they plant 2 trees through the Eden Reforestation Project. So you know that with every purchase, that goes towards something greater as well. They do have more on offer than some of the other brands on the list, like Free Waters, but again, their range is limited. Not as much as Athletic, I would say, but I definitely think they're expanding. You know, they're quite a new company, so I think there's more to see from them. That's how many trees they planted so far, which is really fantastic. I mean, obviously at the moment they've got a Black Friday deal going, but you know, their styles kind of are similar to kind of the more popular trends on the market from Adidas or Nike or something like that. So if you're into that style but looking for a more vegan, ethical friendly shoe, this could be the brand for you. These these styles are similar to Vans or something like that. Yeah, so it may be worth checking out this brand, especially if you haven't heard of them, because you could find a style that's more suitable to you. Yeah, so if we whiz through the couple others on the list, there's 10 in total. Veja you may have heard of. They're quite popular in terms of like the vegan scene for ethical footwear. What I like about this brand is that they use recycled materials in a lot of their shoes, like plastic, cotton and also polyester. That's really good, especially at the moment where obviously plastic and single-use plastics are a huge issue. They're actually turning these materials into something useful. Next on the list is Will's vegan shoes. What I really like about this brand actually is they create a variety of shoes, so not just trainers. So they have work shoes, they also do a hiking boot and a hiking shoe, and also now they've got a few trainers like this one pictured, very similar. They just come in different colours, so there's not loads of options, but the brand works really hard, and everything is ethically made in Europe. Good Guys is a French brand. They've been making shoes since 2011. They're quite popular on the continent. I don't know if you can get many of the offerings in the UK. You'd probably have to buy them from Paris and get them shipped over, but it may be something to look at if you do live in France. They're quite a fashion-led company, I would say. So all of their ranges are vegan, but they create very funky styles, and I like that they're a bit different to the other brands. Tom's is obviously a really popular brand. They've been going for a long time. They're kind of one of the cornerstones of ethical footwear. With every shoe sold, they then help a person in need by giving them a pair of shoes or helping fund projects across the world. So they're doing really well. They're one of the most popular brands, and they're also in a lot of high street retailers, so you've probably seen them before. Pozu is another brand I really like because they use they have quite creative styles, and they also use interesting materials, so things like pineapple leather and cork. They also have a Star Wars range of shoes, so they're quite funky and a bit different to the other brands, so they're definitely worth checking out if you're looking for something really different. Bangs is another one who's quite new on the scene. I believe they're an Australian brand, and quite differently, unlike the other brands who focus on environmental projects or helping perhaps vulnerable or disadvantaged people, they actually use their profits, 20% of their profits go to support entrepreneurs around the world. So they have a program where they invest in entrepreneurs to build up their business, and then the entrepreneurs repay that loan, and when that loan is repaid, that then goes on to reinvest in another entrepreneur. So I quite like that idea. That's a sustainable form of business, and it helps people grow up their own business to sustain themselves. So I think that's quite a niche thing, but really clever of Bangs, and it's nice that they use their footwear to fund these types of projects. So the last one on the list is Nae, or N-A-E, however you pronounce it. They're a Portuguese brand, but they're quite popular. I've seen them on some online retailers. What I like about them as well is they use unusual materials like cork and pineapple leather, and they also use recycled materials, and that includes things like airbags and PET. So that's another fantastic way of reusing something that would otherwise go to landfill. And their shoes are quite unusual as well, so it'll be worth checking them out if you're looking for something a little bit different. So that's just a quick rundown of the 10 vegan trainers on my list. I've mentioned a couple other down the bottom if you're looking for something a little bit different, but those are the top 10 ethical brands that I would recommend. So I'll include a link down the bottom of my video so you can look at the article and explore some of the shoes yourself. So thanks very much for listening, and stay tuned for the next video.